Hey, association leaders, many of you will remember us too from Noba 2020. My name is Steele Billings.
And my name is Christy Shotwell. And over the past year, like all of you, we've learned a lot about what it's like to lead ministries in the midst of a global pandemic.
Many of you will remember that last year at this conference, we were actually talking about an initiative that Barna and Glue were partnering together on called State of the Church 2020.
It was all about helping leaders see clearly and lead confidently by understanding how their people were flourishing in areas like faith, finances, relationship, health, and vocation.
Well, on March 10th of 2020, we launched that initiative and we saw over 1,000 organizations sign up in the first 3 days. But on March 13th, it all came to a halt.
We watched as the president gave the address on March 13th, declaring a state of emergency in the United States. And we knew that the state of the church may not be the best way for us to serve ministry leaders in that moment.
That's right. Immediately we began gathering leaders from churches and networks all across the country to understand what was actually happening and how the church would be affected by everything that was going on.
And after 7 days of going back to the drawing board, we were amazed to learn that all of the work the Lord had led us through to prepare the state of the church was actually just the framework that we would need to build a toolkit to help ministry leaders navigate the challenges that they would soon be facing throughout the year.
What would come next, none of us could have predicted. The national emergency began on March 13th, and churches all across the country began to close their doors.
And we watched as 96% of all churches moved their primary form of ministry from analog or in person settings to completely digital environments. The way churches of every denomination, every size, in every city in America was able to pivot to be able to continue to spread the good news of the gospel was incredible, and it should all be celebrated.
So that was the theme of April and most of May, how churches went from analog to digital. Zoom became one of the primary meeting places of small groups. And, just as it almost became normal, May 25th hit.
And on May 25th, with the death of George Floyd, we began to see the social fabric of our country reach new lows. And as the anxiety levels of all Americans rose, engagement in our ministries nearly came to a halt.
So, people around that time stopped engaging. And I, along with so many other pastors and ministry leaders, I felt this personal attack that the enemy was trying to tell me that the reason that our people weren't engaging was because of our inability to lead.
And it didn't stop there. Anxiety levels continued to rise as we went into one of the longest election seasons in any of our lifetimes.
That constant ebb and flow of 2020, crisis on top of crisis, it led to a breakdown in society.
And it's why we're now seeing historic rises like 23% increase in overall alcohol consumption, a 200% increase in Google searches of the word divorce, and over 30 million people are currently on some form of unemployment.
So, where do we go from here? Our mission at Glue has always been to serve the church. And while the needs of the people in churches around the country seemingly changed overnight, the needs of your leaders, your ministries continue to evolve.
And this is why we feel a stronger calling than ever to give you, as network leaders, visibility into what's coming, awareness of how your communities are changing, and knowledge of the things your congregants need most.
We also understand that these challenging times that ministries are in, decision fatigue has become a very real thing. So we've done something very unique to help remove the burden of adopting new strategies and the things that ministry leaders feel on a day-to-day basis.
And this year, we've taken your story to kingdom minded donors. We told them about the challenges that churches and networks like yours have faced over the past year. And we have raised over $8 million to help churches have access to the tools they need now for no cost to them for an entire year.
So this year, in partnership with Barna, Glue will be going city to city. We're bringing four things with us to every church in every city in America: collaborative outreach, data, insights, and utilities to help them lead and grow their people.
So let's break that down. First is collaborative outreach. We know people are looking for hope and they're looking for purpose. Those are two fundamental messages that every one of your churches seeks to deliver. Our first goal is to tell the unchurched people in cities across America that churches care about their needs and that there is hope. Hope for their marriages, hope for their anxiety, and hope for their finances.
Glue Connect makes it possible for every church in the city to participate in ad campaigns that tell that message of hope to the unchurched. This is already live in cities like Dallas Fort Worth, Kansas City, South Florida, and Columbus, with many more cities planned to launch in the coming weeks and months.
So even if you are not in one of these cities, you and your churches will immediately see the benefit of Blue's community data and tools aimed to help you reach more people and grow the people in the congregations. With tools like Barna's People Pulse Assessment, pastors are able to get a pulse on how their people are spiritually, financially, relationally, vocationally, mentally, and physically. These are called the 5 dimensions of human flourishing, and they are becoming the standard of how churches measure their impact in a time when our traditional metrics just haven't worked.
Now, Glue understands the vital role that network leaders play in the lives of every church. That's why we've created this infrastructure that allows all of this to be connected.
And as one of your churches begin using Glue, you will begin to have visibility across your network to see collectively how people in the churches are doing and help those leaders stay connected to the right resources, content, and strategies, helping them to succeed. We call these growth intelligence dashboards.
These dashboards are available right now for network leaders. Many of you may already have an account. If you don't have an account, you can go to networks.glue.us to register.
And if you're in one of our live Glue Connect cities, we want to connect with you today and give you some resources that will help your churches get these tools that donors have already paid for. Your churches can go to glueconnect.church, but if you're interested in these resources to help you explain to the churches what all of this is, I'd love for you to send me an email at kshotwell@glue.us, and we can set up a time to talk.
Now, if you're not in Dallas, Kansas City, South Florida, or Columbus, don't worry. We're moving really quickly from city to city. So if you are interested in doing something now, you can go to glueconnect.church and pre-register any of your churches into the Glue Connect initiative.
Associational leaders, we really want to thank you for the diligent work that you do. So many of you have been critical to us and helped us develop these tools and resources. We could not have done this without your partnership.
Yeah, amen. Thank you so much to Daryl Price and the entire Noba team. Their partnership, just allowing us to be here, it's just been so phenomenal over the last year. We look forward to all of the great things the Lord has in store for us in the coming year. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.